Yes, welcome back. Let's keep reading. I start to get tired. I just made 5 videos on my language Danish about the Jews and Israel. I did finish upload and I did watch my 5 videos. This is why I did stop this video. I'll make a new paper about Yemen. I made a new read list with Yemen and Yemen's civil war and stuff, but I'm not going to read that the next many days. I like to get back to my Jews, Israel, Jerusalem. I think I like to read about Israel next. I think I'll have to start to read more about Israel and Jerusalem. I will do that. Of course, I should read about Yemen now and this Yemen civil war and Sunni and Shia Muslim. All this that will take many days, but I will look for links. I have it open here. I will look for some links later, but not now, because now I'm going to read. So I did stop the video to make this 5 Danish videos about Jews and Israel. That's not so good. This is how I can destroy my camcorder, and I don't have money to buy a new one. So that's happened because always I'm sleepy always. I drop stuff from my hands because I'm always very sleepy. Because I never sleep enough in the night. Because I sleep too late. I sleep 1 and 2 a.m. Then I get up in the morning, get up every morning. I just getting up every morning, no matter how late I'm sleeping. Even I sleep like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. in the morning, I get up 3 hours.
A map of Yemen's ethno-religious groups. 2002. Hickel argues that the Houthi movement has 2 central religious ideological tenets. The first is the Quranic way, and which encompasses the belief that the Quran does not allow for interpretation and contains everything needed to improve Muslim society. The second is the belief in the absolute, divine right of Al-Bayt, Prophet's descendants, to rule. 133, a belief attributed to Giraldism, a fundamentalist offshoot of Zionism. 134, the group has also exploited the popular discontent over corruption and reduction of government subsidies. 2024, according to a February 2015 Newsweek report, Houthis are fighting for things that all Yemenis crave: government accountability, the end to corruption, regular utilities, fair fuel prices, job opportunities for ordinary Yemenis, and the end of Western influence. 135. In forging alliances, the Houthi movement has been opportunistic, at times allying with countries it later declared its enemies, such as the United States. 11. Religion. In general, the Houthi movement has centered its belief system on the Zaidi branch of Islam. 10. B. A sect of Islam almost exclusively present in Yemen. 136. Zaydis make up about 25% of the population, Sunnis make up 75%. Zidi-led governments ruled Yemen for 1,000 years up until 1962.97. Since its foundation, the Houthi movement has often acted as advocates for Zidi revivalism in Yemen. 24, 139, a calligraphic logo of the Houthi movement reading O ye who believe, be supporters of God. Quran 61 hours 14 minutes, 140, 141. Religious motives play an important role in the Houthi movement, though to what extent is disputed. Although they have framed their struggle in religious terms and put great importance in their Zidi roots, the Houthis are not an exclusively Zidi group. In fact, they have rejected their portrayal by others as a faction which is purportedly only interested in Zidi-related issues. They have not publicly advocated for the restoration of the old Zidi imamate. 10. Although analysts have argued that they might plan to restore it in the future. 20. 134. Most Yemenish have a low opinion of the old imamate, and Hussein al-Houthi also did not advocate the imamate's restoration. Instead, he proposed a guiding eminence, Alam al-Huda, an individual descended from Prophet who would act as a universal leader for the world, though never defined this position's prerogatives or how they should be appointed. 142. The movement has also recruited and allied with Sunni Muslims. Winking sad smiley. 143, 10, 144, 20, 131. According to researcher Ahmed Najai, several themes of the Houthi ideology such as Muslim unity, prophetic lineages, and opposition to corruption, allowed the Houthis to mobilize not only northern Zidis, but also inhabitants of predominantly Shafi'i areas. 20. However, the group is known to have discriminated against Sunni Muslims as well, closing Sunni mosques and primarily placing Zidis in leadership positions in Houthi-controlled areas. 10, 144, 145, 20, 131. The Houthis lost significant support among Sunni tribes after killing ex-President Saleh. 146. Many Zidis also opposed the Houthis, regarding them as Iranian proxies and the Houthis' form of Zidi revivalism, an attempt to establish Shiite rule in the north of Yemen. 137. In addition, Hickel argued that Houthis follow a highly politicized, revolutionary, and intentionally simplistic, even primitivist interpretation of Zidism's teachings. Their view of Islam is largely based on the teachings of Hussein al-Houthi, collected after his death in a book titled Malaysim, Fascicles, a work treated by Houthis as more important than older Zidi theological traditions, resulting in repeated disputes with established Zidi religious leaders. 147. The Malaysim reflect a number of different religious and ideological influences, including bi-communism and revolutionary Sunni Islamist movements such as the Muslim Brotherhood. Hussein al-Houthi believed it of the last exemplary Zidi scholar and leader was al-Hadi ila al-Haq Yahya. Later Zidi imams were regarded as having deviated from the original form of Islam. 132. The Houthis' belief in the Quranic way also includes the rejection of tafsir, Quranic interpretations, as being derivative and divisive, meaning that they have a low opinion of most existing Islamic theological and juridical schools. 133, including Zidi traditionalists based in Sana'a with whom they often clash. 148. The Houthis claim that their actions are to fight against the alleged expansion of Salafism in Yemen, and for defense of their community from discrimination. 137, 20, 149. In the years before the rise of the Houthi movement, state-supported Salafists had harassed Zidis and destroyed Zidi sites in Yemen. 150. After their rise to power in 2014, the Houthis consequently crushed the Salafi community in Sada government. 150, and mostly eliminated the Al-Qaeda presence in the Areas under their control. Winking sad smiley 149. The Houthis view Al-Qaeda as Salafi jihadists and thus mortal enemies. 151. On the other side, between 2014 and 2019, the Houthi leadership have signed multiple coexistence agreements with the Salafi community, pursuing Shia Salafi reconciliation. 152. The Yemeni government has often accused the Houthis of collaborating with Al-Qaeda to undermine its control of southern Yemen. 66. 153. Governance. In general, the Houthis' political ideology has gradually shifted from heavily religious mobilization and activism under Hussein to the more assertive and statesman-like rhetoric under Abdul Malik, its current leader. 139. With strong support received by Houthis from the predominantly Zaidi northern tribes, the Houthi movement has often been described as tribalist or monarchist faction in opposition to republicanism. 11. 134. Regardless, they have managed to rally many people outside of their traditional bases to their cause, and became a major nationalist force. 11. When armed conflict for the first time erupted back in 2004 between the Yemeni government and Houthis, the President Ali Abdullah Saleh accused the Houthis and other Islamic opposition parties of trying to overthrow the government and the republican system. However, Houthi leaders, for their part, rejected the accusation by saying that they had never rejected the president or the republican system, but were only defending themselves against government attacks on their community. 154. After their takeover of northern Yemen in 2014, the Houthis remained committed to republicanism and continued to celebrate republican holidays. 142. The Houthis have an ambivalent stance on the possible transformation of Yemen into a federation or the separation into two fully independent countries to solve the country's crisis. Though not opposed to these plans per se, they have declined any plans which would in their eyes marginalize the northern tribes politically. 10. 20. Meanwhile, their opponents have asserted that the Houthis desire to institute Zaidi religious law. 155. Destabilizing the government and stirring anti-American sentiment. 156. 157. In contrast, Hassan al-Homran, a former Houthi spokesperson, has said that Ansar Allah supports the establishment of a civil state in Yemen. We want to build a striving modern democracy. Our goals are to fulfill our people's democratic aspirations in keeping with the Arab Spring movement. 158. In an interview with Yemen Times, Hussein al-Baghri, a Houthi insider, said that Houthis' preferable political system is a republic with elections where women can also hold political positions, and that they do not seek to form a cleric-led government after the model of Islamic Republic of Iran, for we cannot apply this system in Yemen because the followers of the Shafi, Sunni, doctrine are bigger in number than the Zaydis. 159. In 2018, the Houthi leadership proposed the establishment of a non-partisan transitional government composed of technocrats. 160. Ali Akbar Velayati, International Affairs Advisor to Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, stated in October 2014 that we are hopeful that Ansar Allah has the same role in Yemen as Hezbollah has in eradicating the terrorists in Lebanon. 161. Mohammed Ali al-Houthi criticized the Trump-brokered Abraham Accords between Israel and the United Arab Emirates as betrayal against the Palestinians and cause of Pan-Arabism. 162. Women's rights and freedom of expression. The Houthis' treatment of women and their restrictions on the arts has been subject of debate. On one side, the movement has stated that it defends women's rights to vote and take public offices, 159, and some feminists have fled from government-held areas into Houthi territories as the latter at least disempower more radical jihadists. 149. The Houthis field their own women's security force. 145, and have a Girl Scout swing. 149. However, it has also been reported that Houthis harass women and restrict their freedoms of movement and expression. 134, 145. In regards to culture, the Houthis try to spread their views through propaganda. 149.